Now, a couple of lesser known visas. And some kind of rhyme with the other ones, so it was gonna get confusing. Hold on. The Personal Economic Solvency Visa. This is kind of gonna rhyme a little bit with friendly nations, and it's gonna rhyme because of the amount. We're going to be always talking about a 300,000. So it's higher than friendly nations. It kind of matches the investor qualified, but it is different in the sense that here you could either buy real estate at 300,000, place it in a fixed term bank deposit, 300,000, or even a combined. Always I say, okay, what gives me my residency and what gives me a home in case I need a plan B? So I will always go for buying an apartment, buying a home. But this will give you that flex. So if you're looking for a solution that has a half and half, or maybe the apartment that you're buying is just a smaller apartment, then look into the Personal Economic Solvency Visa. Then you have the Active Business Investor Visa. And I thought this one was a little bit confusing with the option of prior employment in Panama. So this one allows a foreigner to obtain a 2-year provisional permit by investing in a Panamanian operating company. The investor must be a shareholder or officer at this company. Again, everything that has to do with employment, setting up a company for the purposes of coming and investing in a company, being a shareholder of a company, all of those things, I always say, they're very delicate and there are many, many nuances about it. So especially for those, go ahead and contact the lawyers that have helped us do this amazing, amazing manual. Now, the minimum company investment is going to be $160,000. And you are going to need to prove job creation and a number of things that go into it. So it's a 2-year provisional permit, and then children under 25 years of age will not receive permanent residency themselves. So if you have family and you were looking to have a plan B for everybody, double check on the ages of your children, what are the options for them for each one of these visas. And if you let me know in the comments with the word perhaps guide, or send me a guide, or let's connect, then I'll contact you and we can share this amazing guide with you all. For those of you who enjoy investing in reforestation, Panama has had this reforestation visa for a long, long time. So how much? Track A, provisional visa starting at 100,000 minimum. This will give you a 2-year provisional permit, and obviously then, as explained with all of these other visas, there is a track to citizenship or permanency after 5 years. The track B is an immediate permanent residency. And for this one, then it's a minimum of 350,000. Again, this is one of those visas that has been in place for a long, long time. Foreign professional visa. So let's say you are a university graduate that you want to work in Panama and your profession is not reserved for Panamanian citizens. Panama will grant you a 2-year provisional permit and then a permanent residency given all the check marks in your book. So the university degree has to be recognizable or homologatable in Panama. The professional restrictions, there are some professions that in Panama are restricted for Panamanian citizens, normally medical, there's some others, legal, for example, so do check about that. And then you will get a 2-year professional provisional permit and eventually your permanent residency. This one I haven't seen it used as much, So it's one of those visas that is lesser known. I think more likely the next visa might ring a bell a little bit more. And especially after COVID, this visa has been quite popular. This is the Digital Nomad Visa. Ta-da! This was introduced in 2021, so just right when the world definitely was changing. And this is going to be a very temporary visa. Digital nomads are known for roaming around the world, going back and forth with their laptops and their phones. So this one is going to be a 9-month visa, and you can extend it for another 9 months. So it's going to be a total of 18 months. And I think for those of you who are in this category, it's a great way to experience the country and see and travel and really taste the culture and see if you like them to stay longer. So you have to prove an income of at least $36,000 a year, especially if you're self-employed, you know, your tax declarations and all of that. If you're employed by a company abroad and you work online, then you will have more formal documentation in that sense. But what I love about this visa, it's almost like renting before buying. You just like show up, look at the place, experience it, and then you have 9 months, extendable for another 9 months to see and feel Panama. The last visa, but not the last program, is the marriage to a Panamanian visa. Yay! I like it. Of course, my husband is foreigner, so we very much know about this visa. However, it has changed a little bit because now foreign national legally married to a Panamanian can obtain the residency. It's been now reduced to 3 years, so amazing. The marriage must be legally registered in Panama Civil Registry, recognized under Panamanian law. Of course, you have to have, you know, the classic requirements of relationship proof. Common law partners, that they are not eligible, and that will give you a provisional 2 years and then a permanent residency after 3 years. Now, I'll reveal my favorite visa-related legislation in Panama. Some of the visas that we have explored have been in place since the 80s. Panama has been such a welcoming country by nature. That is the nature of being a transit, of being the path between the seas. But this visa has been there since the 60s, and it is a very special legislation because not even a visa, no line, is a permanent resident visa under the Treaty of Friendship, Commerce and Navigation between Panama and Italy. So this is an exclusive option that allows Italian citizens to obtain permanent residency in Panama on an expedited basis. This treaty faculties the establishment of Italians in the country, promoting cultural and economic exchange between both nations. Now, I always smile because you might have noticed that my name is spelled with a Z and not with a C. It's Patrizia, not Patricia, and it's not Patrizia. So that's because my mom was Italian. So my dad went to study to Italy, got happily married, came here back in the 70s, and I am here product of this legislation. So this is my absolute favorite piece of legislation in the whole country. Thank you to the special friendship legislation with Italy. So there you go. Here are our 9 visas and the extra bonus for all of these. Please do, if you are interested, you can do 2 things. Comment on the guides and I'll contact you and send you the guide, and do contact the 4 law firms that were so kind to be the participants in this legislation. We don't take any referrals from them. We just want you guys to have the best representation possible for Panama. So go ahead, and if you like this video, subscribe.